Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 7 of this BPD1 World Championship, where we have officially passed the halfway point of this 12 race long calendar, where we find ourselves with Marko and Ferrari top at both championships, looking to go maybe back to back as we now head into the starting grid for today's race, where we will have Ruggie on the back row after not joining qualifying in time. He'll be joined with David Svat in 21st. Michael and Death Dragon will be 25th and 19th in front of them. Steps and Zedix will be just in front of them at 18th and 17th. 16th and 15th go to Bradders and Ibrahim, with Baban 14th and T13 for Dr. Law after getting a podium last time out. Nico is P12, Tilted P11. Shaz is P10 alongside Caden. They occupied that same road last time out in Spa. Guy and Pingu will be 8th and 7th. Kiki and Patmore 6th and 5th respectively. It's an all Mercedes second row with Tig P4 just being beaten by Edward in P3, and it's an all Ferrari front row with Marko being beaten by Smeggy in qualifying for the first time since China, when Smeggy last took pole. So, seeing as we're racing in reverse here at Silverstone, because yes, we are racing in reverse. So, 2 Silverstones on this calendar, one the normal way and the other is backwards. We don't know what will happen, but seeing as it's a reverse track, we could expect a lot of chaos and some good scraps, hopefully. So, with this, I am now going to leave you all, and I shall join you as we get this race underway. Alright, as we're heading now to 5 red lights here for the British Grand Prix in reverse, and his foot to the floor. We're racing here at Silverstone. It's a good start from both Ferraris, but we got Edward going round the outside of Marko, going into the Vale chicane, and now we have Tig going side by side with the championship leader. There's a bit of a mess at the back. DJ Death Dragon is stationary at the exit of Club. I think he may have got spun round a bit, but that's both Mercedes making up a position, and Smeggy is off into the distance. As we'll look now at tyres, that's what I wanted. Everyone's on mediums apart from Steps, Ruggie and Death Dragon, who have started on the hard tyres. Not looking like we've got any moves up front. We're going to go further back though. We've got a bit of a 3 wide into Cops. It's never going to end well, and that is exactly what I thought happened. Ruggie goes off the track. He was joined there by Baban as well. There was someone else involved in that too. I don't know who though. But a 3 wide into Cops will never work. Ruggie has lost his right side end play. I don't think Baban has any damage. That was with his left rear tyre. We'll hop on board with the Racing Bulls, who get spun by Caden at the village. That's not ideal for the Racing Bulls, as Ruggie gets past Steps, and he also gets clear of David Sva. Almost got ahead of Patmore, but he had to back out. He didn't quite have the overspeed, and Smeggy has got a constant gap of about half a second in his favour. As there goes Kiki going into Stowe corner, finally clears Patmore on lap 6. Took him a little while longer, but Patmore might be able to come back now, as they're going to go side by side down the hanger straight. Who's going to break later? Going into Chapel. Patmore backs out of it, because there could have been a wheel hook incident, as Myro also in that Red Bull trying to capitalise on these two fighting and allow himself to get up into P6 and hunt down the leaders, who are nearly 5 seconds in front, as we head on to lap 8. The pit window will be open very soon, as there goes Pingu up the inside of Marko into Club. He has to leave a gap for the Ferrari, and he pulls the move off. That is a late move there from Pingu, but that's cost him a little bit of time to the podium places, and that puts Marko down into P5, which will benefit more his championship rivals. Obviously the closest one currently down in P12, but Edward currently sat second, will gain massively. DJ's retired in the pits after 8 laps. After getting spun round a Club. I don't know what happened to him, but it's not been a very nice few opening laps from him. We've got moves galore further down in the pack, but we're looking for the fight for the lead, where Edward is going for it again at left field, trying to get the overspeed on Smeggy, but the outside line not really working out when you've got the same tyres as the guy in front of you. You'll want a tyre advantage to make it work. We've actually got Edward alongside Smeggy going in a Cops. This is the closest Edward's been in a long time. Smeggy's already recharging down the national pit straight. I think he's used too much battery. And we're going to have a change of lead here, are we? Going into left field? No, Smeggy brakes later. And the Mercedes, he's got the inside line, but now Edward's got the inside going through Brooklands, and Smeggy somehow retains the lead over the Mercedes without contact. And it looked there for a moment we'd have a change of lead, but Edward not quite able to get the inside line to work for him through Brooklands, which surely would have worked better for him. And Smeggy, is he going to dive into the pits? Yes, he is. I thought he would, because he'd used all his battery up earlier. So, Smeggy is the first of the lead pack to box. Now, either he's done this perfectly, or he's not done the good strategy. Only time will tell. He should be onto a set of hard tyres. He is. So that should see him now to the end of the race. But how long will these guys stay out for? We'll actually watch Edward trundle down the pit lane. There's Smeggy. He's just going to navigate through the Vale chicane. Will Edward come out in front? I don't think he will. And yeah, that's the overcut for you from Smeggy. That's a big gap now for Edward to try and close up. It's about 2.2 seconds. So Smeggy gained, I'd say, about a second and a half with the overcut. It looked like a bit of an ambitious line. As also, he was joined in the pits by Pingu. I didn't even see Pingu in the pits. He gets past Baban coming through Maggots. But will they come out ahead of Edward and Pingu is the question. I don't believe they will. Ruggie will take the lead of the British Grand Prix, starting on the hard tyre, but he's still carrying that front wing damage. Steps finds himself in second in the Aston Martin. If there was a safety car now, Aston would probably be over the moon. As we look further back, Pingu will be a net P3, as Tig and Marko will come out behind them, but they do get out ahead of traffic, so they do not have to overtake any of the back markers. As currently, P3 down to P20 is in an Aston Martin sandwich, but I don't think it's going to be P2 for long. It's going to be P3 because Smeggy's going to... Steps is actually going to defend that going into Cops. I wouldn't have thought I'd see an Aston Martin defending that hard into Cops on a Ferrari, but we're seeing it here. Steps is not making life easy for Smeggy going into Cops corner. But there we are, he got ahead of him eventually, just took him one extra corner. But that definitely caught me a little bit off guard. I wasn't expecting to see Steps defend going into Cops. I would have just thought he would just let him through. It's not his race. Caden's been passed by Patmore and Shaz. I wonder if he made a bit of a mistake or if they just had better speed. And Steps is immediately passed by Edward. Pingu's going to want to go for it up the inside into Chapel. No, Steps is defending it. And he really is parking the bus there. Or tractor, I should say. It's not really a bus, that Aston. That's more of a tractor. And it's actually costing Pingu so much time to Edward. Steps is not playing a nice game for these front runners. He is defending his position. He's just driving his own line and just like, nah, you ain't overtaking me there, man. Wait another corner. So I can almost imagine Tig and Marko are also going to struggle to get past the Aston Martin. But Pingu lost almost a second to Edward with that defending. Bro got bored of sitting at the back. I can imagine he did. He usually just lets them through, but not on this occasion, and he's parking the bus again on Tig. Tig is literally pushing him through the corner. As he goes for the lunge at Village. That's a nice one from Tig. He's not messing about with Steps' game. As we head out of the Vale chicane, Steps goes to the right. That's just to open up the corner. I thought for a second he'd lift off and let Marko through, and that's probably the easiest overtake someone's made on Steps in the last 3 laps. It would seem Steps playing a bit of a game here with Marko, because Marko just got through instantly. It just took him a little bit longer. As there goes Tilted on Myro. I think Myro just kind of let him through, let him burn his battery and get him at the exit of Cops down the national pit straight. We'll ride on board with the Red Bull. Obviously on the two-stop strategy as well, don't forget. He started on the mediums and he's on another set of mediums. And these mediums look finished. As I think that's Tilted now up to 6th. Oh yeah, a bit of a twitch though to Tilted. And I might encourage Myro to make an overtake. Going in a farm curve, he's going to go for it up the inside. Ooh. They make it through. That's close there from these guys, and this is, oh my god, they almost three-wheel hooked there. Coming out of the loop, he got Tilted on his inside, he's got Kiki on his outside, and closing up to the back of it is Shaz. As in a turn 1, that's Kiki up a place, he's got ahead of Tilted. And Shaz isn't gonna go enjoying this. Might go softs. He might try and go softs, but he's gonna have to take his mediums at least a lap or 2 extra to make it work. I don't know, man. As there goes Kiki on Myro. Myro still not playing very nicely. He's still defending his position like it's his actual position on track. It looks like a little aggressive there coming out of Maggots. Yet we're not doing 3 wide into Cops again, guys. Learn your lesson. They did learn the lesson. They all backed out of it, and that's Shaz up to P6. That's a triple overtake there from the McLaren, and Tilted's now going to send one up the inside of Myro, who goes very deep through Luffield, and he's lost 3 places down 1 straight. He's going to send one up the inside of Kiki though, but Kiki with the better tyres surely should have that move sealed. And he looks like he does, unless Myro's going to go for a late lunge into the loop. Well, of course he's going to go for it. Why wouldn't he? But I don't think that quite works, and I think he did get half spun, but you're on really dead mediums, Myro. I don't think you should be trying an overtake like that. Now ZX does clear Bradders, but also here comes Dr. Law up the inside into Abbey. Well, it looks like it was maybe a bit of contact there, because Dr. Law drifted his way through Abbey, and Bradders had to go off the track slightly. So I wonder if Bradders closed the door a little bit too much on the Cadillac driver. It's good teamwork for sure, but I don't know if Bradders is... Like, it looks aggressive, don't get me wrong. Like, he's moving late and only making 1 move, but I wonder if this is what you could consider too aggressive. I think Bradders is just going to keep backing it up as Bradders sends it up the inside of his teammate. Actually, it hits ZX. He's now ghosted, which has allowed Dr. Law to get ahead of Bradders. I think Bradders now broke himself there, slammed into the side of his teammate, and that's lost him a position to Dr. Law, who might now be able to finally get after ZX and try and get that extra point that he wants. To maybe make a claim to allow him to get a seat next season. On to the final lap of this race. Edward will have overtake mode, this time on Smeggy. He almost looks like he wanted to make a move up the inside, but that's probably just compromised his line out of the Vale chicane. But Smeggy has a very poor exit out of the Vale chicane. Edward is going to go for it through Stowe. As we route right on board with the Mercedes, has a little twitch of oversteer as we hop on board with him. Smeggy, I think, will just stay ahead. He's not using the active aero though. I don't think either of them were, unless that's just a glitch on my end. Probably just a glitch, surely. Unless Smeggy just low-key is forgetting to activate it. I don't know. As there comes Pingu. Well, Pingu's trying to go for it into 2nd place now. It's probably just... Oh, Pingu going a little deep. Coming out of Cobbs. Edward probably got one final chance to try and take the lead at this race. Here comes Marko now as well on Pingu. This is going to go right down to Abbey. All these guys, they are neck and neck, these 5. As now, down the Wellington straight, Smeggy breaking the toe to the inside. That may have just sealed him the win. But Edward is going to try and break lane. He locks up, trying to get ahead of Smeggy. But Tig is also going to try and get ahead of Tig, going through Village now. I think Marko has got the better line and stuff. And Smeggy is going to hold on and take a first win of the season to extend the lead in the Constructors for Ferrari. Edward will have to settle for second. It's a first podium for Pingu of the season in P3. Tig will get ahead of Marko in P4. And Marko will finish down in 5th. Between these three, because they were fighting for a while, Dr. Law will take 13th because ZX is down in he's out of the points. Steps will take 15th. I think Bradders will take the final point position, and he will. There was no incident, he was just slow. What? How did ZX fall off the pace? Marko's championship lead definitely took a bit of a dent to Edward in second. But he's still got a very comfortable lead up front. And I'm sure Pingu will be liking his move to McLaren. Finally getting some good points on the table and getting his first podium with the team on debut. So, maybe it's just the start of things for the McLaren. Who knows, maybe Pingu could get a win soon if he could maybe just keep up with the guys a little more.